What's up, y'all? I am back for another video. So today I'm gonna be doing my second video of the day, and I will be doing my top 10 movies of 2021. And this year has been I feel like it's been a decent year for movies if you really look. Yeah, if you like just only look at like DC or Marvel, yeah, movies have been pretty much shit. Aside from like for me, I guess I'll spoil my number one Snyder Cut. And I know some people like Spider Man, but I'm not. That's not on my list because I haven't watched the whole movie. And so, but I feel like it has been a decent year considering like last year there was like literally no fucking movies. So this year, hold on. Sorry about that. I had to move my lampshade really quick. But I feel like this year has been pretty good for movies. Like, yeah, there's been a lot of shit, but if you really look through the rough, there's some good stuff. And I have found 10 decent movies, and definitely like when we get to my like top five, pretty much it's really good movies. So, but I definitely feel like hopefully next year, which Friday, my video will probably be my most anticipated movies of 2022. So hopefully next year will be a bit better, and we'll like have like because I want to have like consistently good movies. It just seems like we're just not there anymore. Like if you look at like, I guess this is a side point, but like look at the year 1987. That movie had Predator. I think the first RoboCop was 87. You had fucking Lethal Weapon. You had Beverly Hills Cop 2. Like, there was a bunch of good shit in 87. It's like, there were so many years I could just name where there's like so many heavy hitters. And then, but this year I feel like there was a decent amount. Just not heavy hitters, but we will get to my list here in a second. And then, my worst movie is easily Mortal Kombat. I'm not gonna go too into it because I did a whole video on it, but yeah, Mortal Kombat was fucking awful. Same with the new Candyman, but we will get to my list. And tomorrow I will review First Strike. I'm gonna rewatch it, considering I watched it on Monday, but I'll rewatch it. It's a really good one, so it's gonna be cool to review that one. And then but then that's it. But other than that, we will start kicking it off. So my number 10 is The Witcher: Nightmare of the Wolf. So this is an animated movie that came out. I don't remember the exact month, but it was in the summer. I do. That's the one thing I do remember. And it's this animated movie it's set in like the universe of the Witcher show, which season 2 is decent. If you cut out a lot of bullshit side stories, it's not a bad show, but this is an animated story about like a character named I think the character's name is Vesemir. I could be wrong. It could be another character, but it's about like how Witchers become Witchers, that's my main thing about it. I like it's animated. The animation's really good. It's kind of anime-ish, but it's not exactly. There's a lot of gore. It's a really good look into the world. You see young Geralt in the end. I really like how it explains how the Witchers become Witchers, like from childhood, and they show you, man, when you're a kid becoming a witch, you're gonna get fucked up, and that's what they show you, and I think they really do a good job at that. And yeah, it's a Netflix movie, and whatever I think of fucking Netflix after the Cuties debacle, I gotta say, I really enjoyed this animated movie. I wish Witcher season 2 was like this all the way through, but this movie is really good. So definitely one of my favorites of the year, and it's an animated one. So my number 9 is Red Notice with The Rock, Gal Gadot, and Ryan Reynolds. This movie is pretty much, it's not exactly a great movie. Like, if you really break it down, the story is not. It's very derivative. You could easily fucking mistake it for for not a fantastic. I meant to say Fast and Furious. You can mistake it easily for a Fast and Furious movie. I mean, even like the trailers are very Fast and Furious-y, but it's a fun one. Like, watching this, going into it, I didn't know. I remember liking the cast, but then I was like, then I watched the trailer initially, then it kind of turned me off. But then watching it, it's a fun one. It's not amazing. It's, like I mentioned, very derivative. Even the action is very derivative. But it's a fun one. Even the bad guy is kind of fun. Gal Gadot, The Rock, and Ryan Reynolds. That's like the main reason. Watch it just alone, just for like the dynamic between the three of them. They're fun, especially in like that final act where they're really cool with each other, and it's revealed that Rock and Gal are together. That's done well. But all around, I would not mind a sequel to this. So definitely one of my favorites. Even though it came out in the winter, it very much feels like a fall, not a fall, like a summer fucking movie. So definitely one of my favorites of the year. I mean, I won't go out of my way to watch it again, but it definitely was a fun one. Number 8 is Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, which is a sequel to Hitman's Bodyguard. Which, Hitman's Bodyguard, story-wise, is really fucking good. Ryan Reynolds and Samuel Jackson are really fucking good together. So they come back in this one. Like with Red Notice, I'm very much only watching the movie for Ryan Reynolds and Samuel Jackson and Salma Hayek together. They're really good. Salma Hayek is the wife of fucking Samuel Jackson. They have a really good dynamic. Like, every time they kill a motherfucker, they kind of like kiss. It's really fucking awesome. The dynamic between the three of them is really good. Like I mentioned, I think this one's a lot more, not slapsticky, but it's definitely more in the action. They go more over the top comparatively to the first one, which is definitely a better narrative. But this one is definitely fun. I had fun with it this year. And the main thing, like, the action is fun. The dynamic between the three of these characters is really awesome. Like, even just the scenes when it's just Ryan Reynolds and Samuel Jackson is really good. Same with, like, Red Notice, which, to me, these movies are about, I would rate about the same, like a 7 out of 10. Not amazing, kind of derivative, but the dynamic, it's all about the dynamic between the characters. It's done fucking well in this, so I definitely recommend it if you just want, like, a fun, like, kind of summer blockbuster. And it's Salma Hayek at her best. You know, they let her be hot. They let her fucking have fun. It's just fucking great. So that's my number 9. My number 8, not 8. No. Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard is my number 8. My number 7, is Quiet Place Part 2. So Quiet Place was one I got into later because someone I know wanted to watch the first one, but I was like, she wanted to watch the new one, so I was like, okay, let's watch the first one, and I really enjoyed it. But my issue with the first one is mainly like the ending, but I think this one kind of fixes it. And like the first one was more about, like, you know, them being silent and being quiet, and they did more like silence and like the characters trying to like be quiet because of creatures. Whereas this time around, there's a lot more dialogue, which is fine. I like the dynamic between the family and some of the side characters. I think it's a bigger set piece. Emily Blunt is a great fucking female character, and that's the thing. Hollywood, you can do great female characters when you actually fucking try and actually give a shit. Sorry if you're hearing a lot of the water. Once again, it's fucking raining. But They actually just like when Hollywood actually tries, you can make a great female character that actually doesn't bring down male characters, and that actually is just all over. She's just a great mom who's just trying to protect her children. It's cool. It was cool seeing John Krasinski again, even though he was in like flashbacks. It's done well. It's not some convoluted bullshit reason they like brought him back or anything. No, it was flashbacks. That's the only reason. So, and I think the ending is a lot better executed in this one. And I don't know if I'd go out of my way to watch it again, but definitely I would probably if I actually ever like flat out review Quiet Place like by itself. I'll definitely review 1 and 2, but I definitely had fun with this one. So that's my number 7. My number 6 is Godzilla vs. Kong. So this one, as someone who I did not like 2014, loved Kong Skull Island, who definitely loved King of the Monsters. This one was definitely on the weaker side. That's why it's number 6. This one is definitely more like I reviewed it a few months ago. I think standing my rating will be about like a 7.5 because as a monster film, it's fucking fun. You get a lot of cool monster scenes. Kong had some good scenes. Mechagodzilla was pretty dope, even though I have a little bit of issues with him getting. I don't like Kong beatable. It should have been Godzilla. Mechagodzilla is a fucking Godzilla villain. To have him just get beat by Kong is just kind of weird to me. But I definitely had fun with this one. My only main negative was the girl from Stranger Things. She should have been a minor character. She should have kind of had the role she had in King of the Monsters. She wasn't the main. It should have been the dad and the paranoid guy. Because the conspiracy guy was actually not a bad character. But if it was him and the dad, it would have been way better. Because the scenes when it's him and the kids, it just feels like a kid's movie. I feel like I am watching practically a Disney movie where they gotta try to stop the bad guy and it's this adult with a bunch of kids. No. I think if it had just been him and the dad, it would have been way better. That could have been the part of the human stuff. But when you get past that shit, the Godzilla Kong stuff is dope. You have a lot of dope set pieces. The final fight's amazing. It's shot amazing. I don't know if I'd go out of my way to watch it again. I definitely won't watch it as much as, like, let's say, King of the Monsters. But it's definitely not bad. And I had fun with it for what it was. So that's my number 6. Number 5, sorry. Now we're getting to my top 5 of the year. Ghostbusters Afterlife. So this one was one, as someone who, I like the first 2 Ghostbusters, fine. The first one is the best one. But I'm not, like, as into it. Like, I think the first 2 were fine. I didn't necessarily even really need a third one. I was fine with just 2 movies. And then they came out with that trash Shitbusters 2016. And even, like, on Shrooms, that movie was fucking garbage. That movie was hot garbage. So, I'm happy that Sony was like, you know what, we're gonna actually try, and we came out with this one. This one, it has its issues. I'm not a fan of the kid characters. They could have done some things a bit better. I think that middle portion they could have done a bit more. But it's not a horrible movie. They actually tried. They try to do right by the fans. A lot of the nostalgia stuff was done right. It didn't feel like nostalgia bait, I'll say that. Egon's granddaughter was actually all around. She's probably the best kid character. And then the dude from Stranger Things was fine. But it was an all-around fun movie. I'll definitely review it like more when I review the other movies and down the line. But I definitely enjoyed this, and I'm happy for the fans that we get. It's actually cool to have a decent Ghostbusters movie that isn't get rid of that dog shit taste out of your mouth of the Shitbusters 2016 movie. So I definitely enjoyed this one, but I don't think I'll watch it as much compared to the first one. I probably mainly only watched the first one, but I definitely enjoyed it. So my number 4 is Wrath of Man with Jason Statham, directed by Guy Ritchie. This movie is fucking awesome. One of the best. Definitely, like, if I were to ever do a top 5 or top 10 action movies within, like, the last few years, John Wick would be number one, but this one would be up there. This one is fucking great. This is Jason Statham at its best. I like the whole... It's directed in different, like, it's compartmentalized. And it's just a revenge story. This guy, you know, Jason Statham, his son gets killed. And he has to basically try to get revenge. You get dope action scenes. It's Jason Statham, like, prime Jason Statham. It feels like one of those movies that would have came out in his mid-times. Like, around the time he was doing, like, Transporter, Crank, stuff like that. This was just a fucking great one. The music is good. The fucking ending. The ending is one of the best things ever. When he confronts the guy who killed his son. Because the guy feels like, oh, I'm successful, I have all this money. And then Jason Statham calls him, he's just fucking sitting there. The lighting is perfect. Fucking... He gives him the autopsy report of his son's body. Shoots him in those locations where his son got shot. It's so fucking cold, man. Such a dope revenge story. Fucking watch it. One of the best action movies easily in years, so... That's my number 4. My number 3 is Nobody. This is one, I think, the same people who made John Wick made this movie. And this is basically, the title is it, Nobody. This is a guy, Bob Odenkirk plays this guy named Hutch, who's just a normal guy. You know, lives with has a son, has a wife, lives with his dad, played by Christopher Lloyd. And Christopher Lloyd's always great. It's always great to see him. And one day he gets robbed and his family gets taken. And he has to basically make himself a badass to try to get his family back. It's fucking awesome. This is easily going to be, same with Wrath of Man. Probably this will be number 2 after John Wick. One of the best action movies ever made. Fucking Bob Odenkirk is great. Because this one's really realistic. That fucking scene on the bus. He gets his ass whooped a good couple of times. So easily, this is one of the best action movies. That final act with him, RZA, and even his dad, fucking Christopher Lloyd, getting together and fucking motherfucking stuff is so awesome. I definitely want a sequel. I would not mind a sequel, man. This is how you do action. And I think I want more movies like this. Same with Wrath of Man. I want more movies like that. So definitely one of the best movies of the year. My number 2 is Halloween Kills. So Halloween Kills is an interesting one. Considering as someone who, I love 2018, I had my issues with it, but 2018 all around was a nice return to the lore. So and I reviewed Kills a few months ago. I still feel like it's my second favorite in the franchise. It has its problems. I just feel like if you just cut out that scene with the patient, this movie could be great. Michael is so fucking... To me, when Loomis says, you know, Michael is pure and simple evil, I feel like in this movie, Michael personifies that. He is so fucking evil in this movie, man. The scenes where he just... The kills, obviously, are the best part, but I really like... This movie made me like characters like Allison, who I had my issues with in 2018. So it was cool, and this movie made me like her. And if you watch the extended version... That ending where Michael kills Karen it's so much better. He kills her, then because Laurie's calling because she feels like something is wrong. Michael picks up, she hears his breathing. She's like, "I'm coming for you, Michael," and then she grabs the knife. It's so fucking badass. Definitely one of my favorite final acts of the year. I had fun with this one. This one was a nice return. I mean, 2018 was good, but this one definitely put 2018 on steroids, and I definitely loved it. So, hold on. And my number 1... And my number one is Justice League. I already kind of said it. Zack Snyder's Justice League. You know, whatever happened, Zack Snyder and the whole G&G thing aside, you know, I'll put that aside. This movie I genuinely enjoyed. As someone who, besides the whole road to get here, to get to this movie, I just genuinely enjoyed it. As someone who already liked his other movies, this is a comic book movie I have been kind of wanting for years because, you know, yeah, you get your Logans and your Jokers every now and then, but it's not necessarily, I'm not even going to poke fun at Marvel. It's more, the comic book films we've been getting, it's just this, it has to be jokey. We can't have anything serious. So they get a movie like this that's just serious. Yeah, there's jokes in it and that fit at the moment, but he did something. I've been wanting a comic movie that just feels like, because in the comics, you're not joking every fucking 5 minutes. So to get a movie that just fucking fixed that, to finally see Darkseid in a fucking movie is incredible. Superman's return got the emotions out of me that the Luke scene didn't. The final act is easily one of my favorite final acts. I mean, it's my favorite final act of the year, but definitely my favorite final act in a comic book film ever. This film, it just was all around epic. I don't even really have any gripes. I really, even like some of Zack Snyder's other stuff, I have some gripes, but like I don't have any gripes in this movie that I can think of right now. Darkseid was dope. The black suit was amazing. Even like the editing, even though it wasn't even an actual black suit. It was basically the blue suit he has, but they just like edited it digitally. It still looks good. Even like the effects. I watched the movie like the other day. It still looks good. So definitely my number one movie of the year. But all around, this year has been pretty solid for movies, you know. And I mean, there's some honorable mentions. Even like something like Spiral, which was the Saw thing. As someone who's like not a big fan of the Saw movies, like I liked the first one, and then I saw part of the second one, and I think they just it should have only been a trilogy. But Spiral was actually not horrible. As something as like Chris Rock, sorry, was pretty decent in it. Samuel L. Jackson was pretty decent in it. I'm trying to think of something else I saw this year that I thought was decent. But yeah, it was not a bad year. I definitely had fun this year with movies. Hopefully next year will be definitely better. So I will be doing my most anticipated movies of 2022 on Friday. Tomorrow I'll be reviewing First Strike, which will be fun because I had fun with that. So it's going to be fun watching that one again. Because I had fun with it on Monday. So I'll definitely be having fun with it again. But yeah, guys, I want to see if you comment in the chat. I want to in the comment section what's your favorite movies of the year were. So, but other than that, I'm gonna peace out. But fuck Warner Brothers. I'm gonna be doing a fuck Warner Brothers video at some point. I just when I'm in the mood. Fuck Disney. Fuck LaBiche James. Fuck Colin Kaepernick. Fuck Joy Reid. Fuck Kevin Smith. Fuck Seth Rogen. And fuck the Biden administration. I'll talk to y'all later. Tomorrow. Peace!